To 8 o'clock on Tuesday, April the 16th, you're watching TVAM. I'm Mike Morris.
And I'm Lorraine Kelly. Coming up in the next hour, we'll be crossing live to Turkey to talk to Martin Frizzell, the only television reporter to travel with the first group of Kurdish refugees as they come down from the mountains.
And in our Towards 2000 series, we'll find out why the rush hour may soon, hopefully, become a thing of the past.
And we'll have lots more, of course, from Mel Gibson. Right now, though, it's approaching 8 o'clock. Time to cross to the TVAM newsroom for the main national and international news with Lisa Aziz.
Iraq accused as first refugees leave mountains. Politicians urged to do more for Kurds. New government crackdown to beat truancy. And the cars Japan can't get enough of. Good morning, the news from TVAM on Tuesday the 16th of April. The United Nations is being asked to take action against Iraq after Iran complained that troops crossed their border and also killed fleeing Kurdish refugees. Iran called the crossing an act of aggression and demanded an immediate withdrawal of all Iraqi forces. The refugees are said to have been killed near the border town of Sari-Polizab, although there's been no independent confirmation. Meanwhile, as relief efforts are stepped up on the Turkish border, the first Kurds to be allowed down from the mountains have arrived at a temporary camp. TVAM's Martin Frizzell travelled with them and has sent this exclusive report.
Down the dirt track they came from the mud and snow and the lorries that had tried to supply them for the past 12 days. Where the asphalt road began, they were decanted to board waiting luxury coaches, their owners somewhat alarmed. The refugees were leaving the mountains behind them, they hoped, for the last time, making a trip in velour seats and air conditioning. Some, though, were going to make the journey in a rattling truck. There was little jubilation. Perhaps it was because they were unsure of just where they were going, but surely nowhere could be worse than where they'd been. Some 2,000 are leaving here in this first batch, and just who the lucky ones are to come off the mountain has been decided by tribal chiefs. In the main, it's women and children first. And 2,000 a day will be the target until what camps that are available on the temperate plain are full. The Turkish authorities are planning to accommodate 300,000, not refugees, they call them northern Iraqis. How does it feel? You're on your way now.
Well, I feel more optimistic today, more hopeful than yesterday, and we hope that our world will be reshaped to better, because yesterday was very worse, very bad.
It's an exciting journey at the best of times. The convoy of 25 trucks and buses vying for position on mountain roads made it an unforgettable spectacle. Villagers, Turkish Kurds who've campaigned for the mountain people, lined the routes as the parade made its way down towards the plain. That the journey was possible at all is because the Turks have bowed to international pressure. In the main, a phone call from George Bush. But they've also secured guarantees of assistance from Europe and America. Last night, the refugees' arrival at this transit camp with its running water and sanitation was a public demonstration at last of Turkey's humanitarian heart in bringing these Kurds in from the cold. Martin Frizzell, TVAM News at Salopi on the Iraqi border.
The British Red Cross has welcomed the government's latest aid package for the Kurds, but it says politicians should be doing more to help the refugees. Yesterday, the Foreign Secretary Douglas Hurd told the Commons that more British helicopters will be sent to Turkey to help distribute emergency aid. Cheryl Welsh reports.
Mr. Hurd said Britain had to keep the refugees alive and create conditions for their safe return home. He said the UN presence in Iraq had to be built up to monitor the refugees' safety, but it wouldn't remain there permanently.
The immediate need is for camps to be set up astride the Turkish-Iraq border and to get the refugees down from the mountains to save lives now as soon as possible. And that will allow, in the slightly longer term, for UN aid workers, civilian workers, to be allowed to stay in Iraq to supervise the return to normality.
The major distributor of aid to refugees is the International Red Cross. Its British branch says the government's £20 million aid package is positive, but more needs to be done.
The real problem is getting the Kurdish refugees off the mountain to places where we as aid agencies can operate effectively. And that's a political problem. The politicians have got to resolve that particular problem.
Another plane load of British Red Cross aid flies out to Iran tomorrow. £200,000 worth of tents, blankets and medicine. Cheryl Welsh, TVM News, at the British Red Cross headquarters in London.